Hey guys, Clint here with American Patriot Defense coming at you with a review. Probably a two-part review. It's going to be one of the actual gun and one of the optic as well. So just do it all at once. Now, disclaimer, I have no affiliation with either one of these companies. I bought this stuff with my own money and am doing this review just because I think it's good to have informed people out there. So that being said, that's going to shoot over to the m2.0, and this is a metal frame gun, or their alloy. I believe it's an aluminum frame gun, and I've got a Defender XL optic on here. So shot about 500 rounds through it today, so I'm at the 500 round mark on it. Completely stock gun, haven't done anything to it other than put the optic on it. I am still even running the plastic plates, and we're going to get into that. So let's talk about the gun first. So fit and finish, Smith has always done a really good job with fit and finish, but the one thing that really intrigued me about this is that they've gotten rid of that awful hinge trigger and went to more of a traditional Glock style or Apex style trigger with the trigger safety for you viewers. Clear, it is a clear weapon. Okay. All right. So, and I've just got a TLR1 on here, just that way it fits my MSP holsters. So it comes with most modern firearms these days. It's going to come with back straps or grip modules to be able to fit it to your hand. So the texture on this is phenomenal. I wouldn't do anything to the texture on it. Even with this being smooth metal here, it doesn't really matter, because where your hands are going to have the most contact, when your palms have the most contact here, and then around in the front strap and your back strap here, you have plenty of texture. Don't even notice that this is smooth up here. I have zero concern with it at all. Yet rear and front serrations, they've been doing that for a while. Nothing crazy about that. Trigger out of the box, pretty good, unless you just want to throw something better in it. Or when I say better, that's very subjective. But if you want to throw something different in it, maybe like a lighter trigger or tinker with it, it depends on what your use is on it. I have, based on what I've shot today, I'll post some videos of some of my stuff that I was doing with it today. I have no issues keeping this trigger in it and just keeping it in a stock configuration.
MMP 2.0 metal frame, Defender XL, 5 MOA, because that's what they had in stock. One Charlie, 224. One Charlie again, 1215. A couple of Charlies drove it up, 209. Another Charlie, 20.
So with this one, it does not have, this particular model does not have co-witnessing sights to the optic. It is a multi-footprint mounting plate. It comes with, I don't have them here, but it comes with basically a bunch of different mounting plates. The mounting plates that it comes with, I think this could be incorrect, but the law enforcement model, the LE model, comes with metal plates, but the normal model, just like this one I got here, comes with plastic sandwich plates. Now there's aftermarket companies that make metal sandwich plates, and what that sandwich plate does is it's a spacer between whatever optic you're running and the rear or front of the slide, and you still use either a Delta Point or RMR style mounting hole for mounting the optic. So it's kind of like a semi-direct mount system. So these screws are going straight into the slide. The plate is just there to fill a gap with that. So, and it's a pretty decent fit on the plate, even though that's plastic, it's a pretty decent fit. And then I used the supplied vortex screw in here in it versus the ones that came with the plate, because I didn't find ones that came with the plate that fit very, very well with this particular optic. So I used the vortex screws that came with it, and it's been fine. It's not loose over the 500 rounds that I've shot it, and I shot fairly fast today. So far with that, I'm not disappointed in it at all. I do have a carry comp slide and the new vortex enclosed emitter coming in. I will give it a test. So we'll see how that goes. But that being said, texture is really good. Magazine release texture is really tactile. Another cool thing is it can be rotated, but you can flip it out and you can get an extended magazine release if you want. So this is a really good option for a carry optics gun for USPSA. I'm actually considering to maybe try to shoot US because I'm a Walther. I've been shooting Walther for a while. So I may switch over to this for a little bit just to see how I like it. Accuracy, fine. I'm not going to be able to outshoot it probably. So, but out of the box, even most factory guns, my Walther included, and my Glocks have been oversprung. It's very noticeable in their how sprung they are. And I can honestly say this one for a factory gun didn't feel very oversprung. It felt very good. The return back to target was very nice. I didn't have any issues with it. Of course, a lot of that has to do with your grip and stuff, but there's a very notable difference. I put long stroke guide rods and 14-pound springs in all my Walthers. I don't know if I'm going to need to do that with this. I may get some springs and tinker around with it a little bit, but right now, I don't think I'm going to need to do that with this. I find it out of the box a very pleasurable shooting pistol that I really don't need to do anything to, which is nice. Not having to spend a bunch of extra money is feel really good, and I think good for the consumer. You don't have to play with it. Now, you can always tune it. Ammo I shot today was zeroed ammunition, 147 grain. I'll have a link below with a coupon code for you guys on that, but that's what I shot today. That's my practice ammunition. That's my competition ammunition, what I just used. And it ran flawlessly through that, as it always has on anything that I've ever put it through. So if you want to know the exact specs of this pistol, you can look up on Smith & Wesson's website. It's not a secret or anything like that, but I can honestly say if my buddy Todd didn't almost convince me to do this, he's from Citizen Defense Training. He didn't tell me to do this, but he's like, hey man, have you tried the new Smith & Wessons? I was like, no, I wasn't even interested in them. And then we had a couple of guys out on the podcast come on, and they were shooting Smiths, and I was like, well, maybe I should check out the Smith & Wessons. And I'm glad I did. It's a pleasurable shooting gun. They definitely come a long way from the last Smith that I shot and had owned was a 1.0, was their original, had that as a duty pistol. And then I had one of their original core models, and I was just like, man, I'm just going to go back to Glock. I just prefer it better. I hated the triggers on them. Fully ambi on the slide release too. I forgot to mention that. So it's fully ambi on the slide release too. So now one of the cons that I've got, and this has to do mostly if you're going to be running an optic, and I don't think it's going to matter what optic you run. And there, I know there's a solution out there. So we'll talk about what the issue is, and then we'll talk about the solution. So the issue is the brass port here, the ammunition check port right here. All right, so that, how these things work, them being spring driven, gas is going to escape at the path of least resistance. So you're gonna have gas coming out of this port. And what I did notice today is I got tons, not tons, but more carbon blowback than I have on most of my other striker fired or single action guns. Any of my other pistols that I own, I don't have this issue, and I have this issue with this gun. So this port is shooting gases up onto the lens of your optic. Now, if you're using your optic correctly, be a factor at all, other than it's going to get your optic lens dirty, and you're going to have to keep a cloth around to wipe it away occasionally. Otherwise, you're eventually going to shoot a fully occluded optic. But that being said, that is right now, that is my negative, my overall only bad thing I've got to say about the gun is that port and it blowing carbon and gas up on the lens of the optic. Now, what's the solution? Well, several companies, a couple of companies make mounting plates that will hang over and cover that port, and that will disperse that gas away from your glass. Gas away from the glass. So let's see what I did there. But it's going to disperse that away from the glass, and you shouldn't have that problem. So I got a buddy, Pew Pew CNC. He's making plates now. You send your slide into it. He'll make a custom plate for your specific M&P, or I'm speaking M&P in this case. He'll do it for any firearm, but he'll make a custom plate that is for that pistol based on those tolerances for whatever optic you're running. And he's doing that right now with M&Ps and making a little lip to do that. And I think there's a couple other companies that are doing similar things. He also does porting and stuff like that too, like other companies as well. But that is the solution, I think, if you're going to be running an optic. So like I said, I'm running the Defender XL on here, and you know, we're going to make a video. We'll make it a 2-part video, come back and we'll talk about the Defender XL. Hey guys, before I go into the optics video, just got to mention, hey, if you like what you're seeing, you're liking the content that you're like, give us a follow. I'd really appreciate you give us a follow. Go down to the description, you'll see the website. Give us a follow. Go to the website. We've got a section for discounts. I'll actually link the discount section in the website. Get your discount on. Save some money inside here. I've got discounts for ammunition. I got discounts for chocolate script enhancer, multiple things. Cloudster pillow, you name it. I probably got a discount somewhere for it with an affiliate program of some sort. I do get kickbacks on that. Just note that. But that's a way you can support the channel if you like what you see. But I appreciate it, and we'll see you on the range.